Well, welcome to the Straight Talking preview show this week. And of course, as usual, we're a little bit late today due to work, but we're here for the next hour. And of course, joining me and to my left, maybe to your right, depending on how it is. To my left, of course, is the returning Dean Barker. So welcome, Dean.
Evening, everyone.
And of course, to my right, maybe your left, after his legendary performance last week, he's back again, Dean Sawyer. So welcome, Dean.
Good evening, everybody.
A good week for everybody.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Been a good week. We played AFC Dunstable on Tuesday. Sort of missed an early penalty and lost 1-0. Tight game, but yeah, no, I was pleased with the performance. Trained last night and ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, plenty going on around here, so looking forward to the weekend's action. Really, we're going to find out a lot this weekend, and I can't wait for it to crack on. And there's a game tonight, isn't there, as well?
There is. It's Whittam against Averley tonight, and the news in that is that Tom Richardson's been dropped. He's on the bench tonight, and Sam Bantic has come in and taken his place in that starting lineup. So that was probably a little bit of a shock to start with, I think, for maybe for quite a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Tom. So yeah, obviously sometimes you don't know what's going on. He might be carrying a bit of a niggle or whatever, but yeah, Sam's obviously a good striker as well. So yeah, they got two good strikers there.
Well, should we have a look then? Just start off with, you said it's quite a big week this week with certain games going on, and we'll start off in the Prem. And I suppose the first one to start off with is Mersham against Haringey. Two sides that are in the playoffs and they're thereabouts as well, and maybe two sides that we'd expect maybe to be there at the end of the season.
Yeah, I think both teams from where they are now, with sort of close 9 or 10 games to go, you'd expect to get in the playoffs now. Mersham had a good win against Leatherhead last Saturday, didn't they? Mm-hmm. Always good to score towards the end, and Haringey have been up there since that FA Cup game. They've been up there for a long time. So yeah, it should be a good game tomorrow, but I'd expect both to be in the playoffs at the end of the season.
Yeah, totally agree on that one. Haringey have been a bit inconsistent, I would say, of late, and that's stopped any challenge towards Dorking, but they're looking safe to finish sort of second or third, and certainly if they were to win this game, you'd fancy them probably to wrap up second place.
I mean, are you surprised? I mean, I remember quite some few weeks ago now when Glenn was with us, and Glenn turned around and said that, guys, he said, I expect that there could be a possibility of Mersham starting to struggle a little bit, and then ever since that point, they've taken off.
Yeah, no, fair play to them. They've been on a great run, haven't they? And without being disrespectful, you'd say they're one of the smaller sort of clubs in the playoffs compared to some of the big boys that are on the fringes. But yeah, Hayden's done a great job there, and yeah, fair play to him.
I think it's their home form's really helped them through, and I think they've won 7 out of 8 at home. They got a good win last week, left it late. They nicked to win, and I think they'll be up for this game because they'll fancy second place. There's advantages and finishing higher up the playoffs, so I think they'll be right up for this one.
It's a lovely little ground down there at Mersham as well, isn't it? I mean, it seems to be. I always remember going down there with Harlow, and you go down there and you have to train off the pitch as well. You have to go onto the back pitch if you've ever been down to Mersham. You can't actually warm up on the actual main pitch itself. You have to go over the fence, and it's a quaint little ground. It's right in a sort of. He'd probably miss it if he didn't even know it was actually physically there, because it's almost tucked behind the back of houses and stuff around the back there.
Yeah, we went there with Wingate last year, first game of the season, and Alex, who signed for Cheltenham, he scored a hat-trick against us. So yeah, it's a lovely little ground, and yeah, they get decent support, don't they?
They do. Haringey though, I mean, what do you expect from Haringey? I mean, do you expect Haringey now? I mean, they've lost, of course, a couple of players as well, but are you still expecting them to keep it going for the rest of the season and maybe nick that playoff space if we're saying Dorking are going to get the main prize?
Well, I think we're certainly saying that Dorking are going to get the top prize. I don't see any difference there. I just think it'll be very disappointing for Haringey if they don't complete a second place. I know you don't get huge advantages for getting second, really, but They've been up there all season and they've had such a good run in the FA Cup, and I think they just want to see it out now, and getting a win here will certainly help towards that.
I mean, Haringey, though, I mean, after that little blip, they seem to have got back on it a little bit. I mean, it's going to be a tight game, do you think, between the two tomorrow, though? I mean, it seems to me on paper that it could be, if Mersham can, counteract the pace, as we always say. Do you think it's going to be a close game?
Yeah, I think it'll be a close game. I think people need to stay realistic about Haringey, where they come from, and sort of this is probably their first time at this level of football, and for them to be second is an amazing achievement. So they need to sort of, everyone will stay realistic, and they'll probably say that themselves. But yeah, no, it should be a good game tomorrow. I think it'll be a draw, to be honest.
But is it one of those things as well? I mean, you look at it now, it's not going to be, if it stays the same as it is at the moment, they're not going to have that massive disappointment of, not actually getting up automatic because of Dorking being that far in front. So they've got a bit of, quite a few weeks to sort of get over that sort of issue in their minds. So do they go in to the playoffs in a more positive frame of mind than possibly they would have done, if it would have been, really, really close? Because I know the last game of the season is actually Dorking against Haringey in the league system. So I mean, the likelihood of them being sort of 2 or 3 points behind them by that sort of stage is probably going to be quite slim. But do you see that? Do you see that being a little bit different this year because they're not going to have that big disappointment?
Yeah, mate, you're right. Because it has been decided as early as this that they're probably not going to get first. They probably overcome the disappointment. I'm sure. You're just telling me now that that's the last game of the season. I'm sure a few months ago when they looked at that, they might have thought, could be an exciting game at the end. But actually, that's not going to happen. So, like I say, they want to get second place wrapped up sooner rather than later, and this is the ideal game to do this.
Do you agree, Dave?
Yeah, definitely. By the time that game comes around, you'd imagine maybe Dorking would have won the league by then, and Haringey will sort of be in the playoff place. So, both Haringey might even rest players for that game ahead of the playoffs. So, yeah, I don't think that game will matter too much, to be honest. But yeah, like I said, I think it'll be a good game to go to. But I think it'll be a 2-2 draw.
Would you think there'd be a bit of a disappointment a massive disappointment in the club for Haringey if they should be in the playoffs, but if it went wrong for them in the playoffs and they didn't get up, do you think that would be a massive disappointment for them now? And how do you pick a team up? I suppose Rob Small's the person to ask this question to, but how do you pick them up after a situation like that?
Yeah, I don't know how you're going to pick them up. I think it will be a disappointment for them if they don't make it through. I think they're the most deserving side and possibly the side that could cope best in the next division. I think it will really be devastating for them if they don't get in. So I kind of hope that they get in playoffs and win as well.
So where do we think this one? Did I say, Dean, you reckon this is going to be 2-2?
Yeah, I think obviously both teams score goals, don't they? So yeah, I think it'll be a good game to watch. I think it'll be 2-2.
Yeah, I've switched around a fair bit on this one. I know it was 2-2 last time they played. I was tempted with the 2-2. I'm actually going to now side with the home side with their good form on their own ground, and I'm going to go a 2-1 win to Merstham.
And that's exactly what I've gone for as well. Then I've got 2-1 to Merstham. I suppose the next game we go on to, for me, Worthing against Brighton & Sea. Brighton & Sea, going great guns, but Worthing having a bit of a sticky time as well at the minute, and probably one of the sides sort of, I don't know, a month and a half ago, we were going to, could have been up there and challenging maybe Dorking, maybe even challenging Haringey for that sort of first and second places, but they've dropped away quite considerably. But do you see them coming back into form? I know they got a decent result last time out, but I mean, is it, is that something you would be concerned about this time of the season?
No, I think from Worthing's point of view, remember when the manager took over last year, they were rock bottom and everyone thought they were going down. So for them to be in the playoffs or around the playoffs is a great achievement in sort of 18 months or whatever. But Worthing get big support. like you say, the last 9 games to go, anything can happen. There's some huge clubs sort of in and around the playoffs, Enfield Towns, Bognors, Folkestones, teams like that. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting end to the season.
I think they're a funny side. I do think they've done well to get in the playoffs. But they're weird because their home form is actually really, really poor. You said there about their home support being huge. It's the biggest in the league by far. Yet they've only earned 19 points at home, 34 away, which is a massive difference. You know, if they had as good home form, they'd be challenging at the top. Or do you just give them good credit for being away? So well done to them for getting into the playoffs. But what's going on with this home form? You know, big crowd, give them some more wins.
Is that a case of going against what Dean and Paul keep saying? You know, that 3G probably doesn't agree with them. Could that be a situation?
Yeah, well, the stats of it don't lie. I mean, like I say, 19 points at home and 34 away. You know, what's going on there? Or is it, if they start badly and they've got a big crowd, are they getting on the back? I don't know the answer. I've not seen them this season, but it's certainly quite an unusual thing for a team in 5th place, to have such a poor home record.
I mean,
Dave, did a team mascot play on that show? Just wondering.
Yeah, but they like it, don't they? So that's what I'm saying. There's the difference. Well, I mean, James Sykes has just come in and said Worthing are a good team and got some good players, but that's what I mean. I mean, is 3G one of those things that suits some teams and don't suit others? And you know, he's our Worthing this time round. Some of the players maybe that they've brought in, on the youngsters that they've got in there. You know, could that be a case of that this time round? You know, it's not suiting their style of play, or it's just, I don't know. Could that be a factor?
It's got to be a factor. I don't know the reason for what it is. Is it? You know, like I say, I've not seen them, so I don't know so much their style of play. But you know, maybe this is a. I imagine they're probably just going to sneak in the playoffs, possibly. Will they be one of the ones that go up? I think they are the weakest of the ones in the current playoff situation. So I'd be surprised if they went up. But this year would then be a good build for next year. Get their home form right and they could challenge.
So we're talking on that. Brighton-Sea. I mean, Brighton-Sea, one of those sides that have had a great run of late. You know, probably one of the smallest sides. No disrespect to them. You know, in the Prem. And they're holding their own and doing really well, considering, you know, loss of manager as well. First, I think it's right in saying first full season as well for them, and you know the management team there, and they've done a great job, haven't they?
Yeah, 100% agree, and I don't think it's been disrespectful to say they're one of the smallest clubs, sort of budget-wise and crowd-wise in the league. But yeah, they've done a brilliant job, and they're obviously comfortable. And listen, if they won the 4 or 5 games, if they went on a little run now, they wouldn't be too far off the playoffs either.
Exactly. Great first season. If they were to win this, they're literally just 3 points behind them. So, like you say, put together a run and they could even get there. But I would say there's too many teams in between them and bigger teams that could probably get in there. But what a good season for them. You know, if they end up in the top half, well done to them.
I think, you know, Brighton could be one of those teams, though. You know, if they did manage to get in there, would you bet against them of literally coming through it all, though? You know, a team like that getting in there and, you know, and really sort of, you know, be on some type of form as well if they did manage to get in there. You certainly wouldn't. Would you look at anywhere else other than them?
Well, if they did get in there, then it would be on a great run of form, so they'd be going in, you know, in the right manner. I don't quite see it. I think, like I say, there's 5 bigger teams and too many teams in there. There's like 7 above them now, you know, to the playoffs. So I can't see it, and I think they'll probably just be happy with like top half finish would be great for them.
Yeah, I would just say, remember with some of the sort of bigger clubs that were maybe expected to be in the playoffs or had the budget to be in the playoffs, I would say there's more pressure on them going into the playoffs if they do get in there because of the expectation.
Well, James Sykes has covered us at Abley are the new Manchester City with their budget. Well, I mean, would that be the only thing for Haringey if they are going to be in that second position? You know, in that sort of playoffs, so we say semi-finals. Would you prefer to be in 3rd place rather than 2nd place? Because you always seem to get, a team that's finishing in that sort of 5th place that are the team that are in better form than anybody else.
I see what you're saying. I think the key is just to get the home game first, and you should then be, you've got it in your control to get through to the final where anything can happen. But I do think it will be one of the bigger teams like Harringay or Tunbridge maybe that go through all the way. I can't imagine a smaller side like Brighton SC or any of them sort of teams making a late challenge enough to get in. I do wonder whether Worthing will stick in. They need to improve their form. They probably need to win this game to keep in there. They're only just in there. There's a lot of challenges for that spot. And if they do get in there, then they're not going to be playing at home. So, I don't know. Be interesting. 9 games to go. We'll see.
And that's a good point. You just come up with. You just said there, Worthing's away form's better than their home form. So if they did get into the playoffs, the likelihood is both games are going to be away. So, you look at that on form wise then and go, well, maybe they could be the team to
you never know.
So what are we going for on this one then, guys?
I'll go first on this one. When I first looked at it, I thought this is easy. It's an easy home win, but I'm going to go with what I've written down. I'm almost changed my mind. I've written it down. I've gone 1-1.
Dean?
I was going to say that as well. So, I'll go for the 1-1 as well.
And I've gone 3-1 to Brighton SC. So,
I'm surprised that none of us have picked Worthing. I thought that you guys would, and that's why I thought I'd be controversial going for the draw on that one. I nearly changed my mind to Worthing, but because I've emphasised their home form being so bad, I can't go for it.
So going on to the one then that a team that's strange for me in next game, going into the north, Coggeshall against Bury. 2 sides, Bury always one of those teams that flatter to deceive, as we've always said. Coggeshall, everybody's saying when they first came in, full of money, Ollie Mers, etc., etc., etc. But through the season, they've had some decent players gone in there on some decent money, if you believe the rumours and so forth. But they don't seem to stay there very long, and then they're off again. I mean, like Sam Bantic has gone now and gone off to Aveley, and Kieran Bishop was another one. And he's a couple more that sort of I can't think of off the top of my head, but there's been some players been in there and sort of gone quite quickly afterwards. So I don't know. Did you see Coggeshall being the only side that could be the ones that might miss out on the playoffs in North?
There's a bit of a gap there, isn't there? Was it 11 points? So you'd say it's sort of maybe last chance for Bury to sort of put a claim in for the playoffs, because obviously if they don't win tomorrow, that's then probably finished for the playoffs. So I mean, because Ollie Mers is there, does that mean they're going to get in the playoffs and get promoted? Not really, does it? But obviously they've had a lot of players. Some clubs like to do that, some clubs like to freshen it up, and some clubs like to stay loyal to the players that have sort of gotten there. So they're obviously gone down the route of trying to freshen it up throughout the season, and listen, they're in the playoffs and in with a good chance of getting promoted.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about Bury, I'll be honest with you, but I see the gap. I see it's too much. Even if they were to turn them over tomorrow, it's still a big gap, and they've played one more. So I imagine that the playoffs are set. A bit of a boring division this one for the main places at the moment. Like I say, Coggeshall had the money. I totally agree with what you said. Just because they got Ollie Mers, it's not a singing contest, so they're not any better because of that. I certainly edge with them over this game. With their form, their 5 wins in a row. Good at home, good win last week. A decent team. I think they could be ones. They're obviously going to get in the playoffs. They could be one of the ones that are favourites to go up through it.
Well, Mark Billitt's just been on, said the mighty Molesley are in the house, and they've had 2 fantastic results over the last couple of weeks, and all of a sudden a deficit that looked like it was never going to be pulled back, and they're only 3 points behind now. I think 2 or 3 points behind getting out of that.
A couple of games in hand as well.
Yeah, so they're going great guns, and
that's what we all predicted them last week, and they got the win.
They did. But I mean, Bury though. I mean, Bury are a side that everybody says every single year since I've been involved. Oh well, Bury are one of those sides that they could be up there. They could be up there fighting for the playoffs, etc., etc., etc. They get a large crowd all the time. Probably, I think, the biggest crowd, in the division for the last 3 or 4 years, and yet they just flattered to deceive. Is that a fair thing to say?
Yeah, well, flattered to deceive. They've stayed loyal to the manager, haven't they, over those years? And yeah, they do get decent support. I mean, I've been there in the FA Cup and in the league, and it's a nice place to play. It's always good to play in front of people. But yeah, you'd imagine with a big support, it comes a decent enough budget. And I know sort of Paul talks about budgets and stuff, and normally the ones with the better budgets are up there. But it looks like they're going to miss out again this season, doesn't it?
There's quite a few big teams, what I would call big teams, from afar above them. I think it's been a tough season in that respect, with an exceptional team like Bowers and Haybridge as well, and like what we were saying with Coggleshaw, they run into some good teams. I think if I always am disappointed when one of the teams have got the biggest crowd in the division, I always feel they should be right up there. So maybe there's a bit of disappointment that they're not going to get in it. Or do they still have faith that this game here is the last chance, last must win, and then possibly get on a run and get in? We'll see.
It's going to be an interesting one. Me personally, I think it'll be a tough one. Losing the likes of somebody like Sam Bantic as well, losing him. Are they going to struggle to score? I don't know. With Coggleshaw, will they bring anybody? Will they bring? I think they brought somebody in, but will they be bringing in a few more before the deadline? Was it 2018? Did you say?
It is in the Southern League. Right. I'm not sure about the roster. Imagine it's the
same sort of time. Yeah. I mean, do you think they'll bring anybody else in just to try and if they do win Saturday and they know they're cemented in those playoff positions, will them and maybe even the likes of Morden and Averley and the rest sort of bring somebody in to look at that and go, well, we need to get a couple of players in just to boost us for the playoffs.
I mean, with Morden, obviously Jerome Slew, who's there, who played for me at Northwood, he scored 8 and 8 for him since he's gone there. So, and we obviously mentioned Liam Hope a few times. So Morden made some good signings, so they'll be strong in the playoffs. But yeah, listen, the way they've done it all season, it looks like they will bring in a few. But time will tell. But yeah, there's some big clubs in that playoffs. That's going to be exciting playoffs to watch, I'd imagine.
So as a player, I mean, if you had players in your team and you're not fighting for anything, you're sort of stuck in mid-table, but you've got maybe a star player here or a star player there, would you be a little bit concerned that somebody might come and cherry pick him before the end of March if you've got 4 teams that are in the playoffs and cemented in the playoffs? Would you be looking at that thinking, there's a chance that I might lose my star man to one of them, or would one of those playoff people be looking at that going, well, look, they've got nothing to play for now, let's go and see if we can nick him for the last sort of 5 or 6 games?
Yeah, it's happened over the years. If there's someone who can strengthen your squad, and obviously those teams have got the money to go and step in there and get someone, you'd imagine they would do it. But obviously they've done well most of the season to be up there anyway, so they'd only be looking for boys that could probably strengthen their team. But we've seen it over the years where some clubs have signed boys from the conference just for the playoffs, and that might happen again this year.
And talking on that side of it, is that right? As a manager, when you're going up against somebody in the playoffs and you're playing up against a team that's been playing in the North all sort of year, and all of a sudden they bring in somebody, say, just off the top of my head, they bring in somebody from Leighton Orient, or they bring in somebody from Maidstone, or they bring in somebody from wherever, just for the playoffs. I mean, do you see that as being a little bit out of order as well?
The rules are there. The rules are there. So at the end of the day, all those teams in the playoffs want to get promoted, don't they? So if they got to do what they got to do to try and win the game. So if you've been there all season as a player, and then someone comes in for 2 games, obviously you won't be too happy. But ultimately, if you get promoted, the manager's done his job.
Well, there's been a goal in the game tonight between Averley and Whittam, and it's Averley 0, Whittam 1 in that game tonight. So there we go. So it's we want Mr. James will be bouncing up and down, I expect, and I don't say we'll get to see that video later. So what are we going for? Coggeshall versus Bury.
Right, for me, I found this one an easy pick. I'll go with Coggeshall. They're on good form. Good at home. I'm going for a 2-0 Coggeshall win.
Okay. I'm going for a 1-1.
I'm going for 2-1 Coggeshall.
Okay. So the one Mr. Sykes will be interested in if he's still watching. Tilbury versus Malden. Tough game for Malden. Happy to go to Tilbury because I mean that is going to be tough. They've got a fantastic side down there now at Tilbury that they seem to be sort of blending together quite well as well. And maybe if you'd have had him in sort of maybe a month or 2 months earlier, then it could have been it might have been a little bit of a different story with Tilbury. But I mean, where do you see that one going?
I heavily fancy the away side on this one. They're unbelievable away. From home, had a good win in midweek. Tilbury, good team, very good team. Too much needed to do to make it up to the playoffs for sure now for me. Got a great striker. I think he's the second top scorer in the league, in Lewis Smith. And they're decent at home. I think it'll be a good game, but I certainly am favouring the away side at the moment.
Yeah, I'd go along with Dean as well. Malden are very strong and they're on a good run and they've got strikers that are scoring goals. So yeah, Tilbury are doing very well. The manager's done well since he come over from Basildon. And they'll be ones to watch next year for sure. But yeah, I fancy Malden tomorrow.
Yeah, Malden, as I said to you, I was surprised they lost to Bowers. I mean, I thought they were the best side that I've seen in the Ryman North or Eastman North, whatever you want to call it these days, for a long, long time. And I thought they were absolutely sensational side and thought they would go on and beat Bowers quite comfortably. So I was quite surprised they lost that one. But as I say, Malden with the firepower they've got, people talk about that, but the defence is absolutely incredible. And I don't know if you've seen them play this year, but they have got one heck of a defence in there as well.
I've not seen them. I've seen clips of them. I've not seen them live. Certainly their statistics are very, very good. It's a shame they couldn't challenge a bit nearer for the title. They're looking good for the playoffs. That's pretty much safe. I don't know what positions they will get in the playoffs. Second, third, fourth's quite tight. Obviously, you want to get a bit higher. Although do you with Malden's not form, I suppose they're not that bothered. But it's going to be a good battle in that playoffs. I'm looking at them. I don't know which one of the four I would go for at this stage. Should it end up with them four like you'd expect?
Dave?
Yeah, like I said, Malden for me, very strong. Manager's done well with bringing the signings in, and yeah, you'd say they're near enough guaranteed a playoff spot now. So everyone wants to get in the playoffs in good form, don't they?
They do, and for me, I don't think you can see anything. And no disrespect to it tomorrow, but I don't think you can see anything past Malden. Going up with Bowers. I think they're far superior than the other sides that are in there. I just don't see anybody else. My personal opinion is I see it as being a Malden against Cambridge final, and I think it'll be probably the best final of all the four divisions as well. I think it'll be a really, really good final. But I do think Malden in the end will be too strong for everybody.
Yeah, I'd say out of the step four divisions, I'd say it's the strongest one out of the three.
Yeah, 100%.
So what are we going to go for Tilbury against Malden?
Right, I've gone with the away side, because they always win away, and I've gone 3-1.
3-1?
I think Dean's seen my scores, because he keeps saying the same score I'm going to say.
You go 3-1 as well, yeah?
Yeah, I'll go 3-1 as well, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go...
He said the same last one, but I changed it. I thought I can't pick the same one as him again.
I'm going to go 2-1 to Malden on that one. Moving into, of course, into Keith's League as well. Three Bridges against Greenwich Borough. Going to be a great game. Three Bridges, though, seem to have really dropped away. They looked like at one stage that they were going to be pushing up towards the playoffs. Went to play Keith's team, lost at VCD, and then it seemed to have fallen apart since then.
They've had an awful run. They were mid-table, potential one of the contenders if they went on a run, and then it's all gone wrong. They've now not won for 10 games. This led to them lose. So, mutual consent, I think, was the words that Martin Diamond had to leave, although he says otherwise. So he left about 2 games ago. Like I said, they've not won in 10. That's the problem now, and why I think it's such a strange decision to get rid of him, although they were on a bad run, is now they're towards the bottom. And that's why I picked the 2 games here, because the 4 sides of the bottom 4 sides all playing each other. So Three Bridges have found themselves in the bottom 4, excluding Thamesmead, and possibly in danger of going down. So big decision to get rid of the manager. I'm sure he would have picked up an extra few points to take them to safety, but they've got to watch themselves now. It's not good for them at all. Do you know anything about them at all?
Me personally, no. I mean, I've only seen bits and bobs of Three Bridges. I've seen them on the, when they were on. I think they was on a TV program last time they were in the Isthmian League. So I saw bits and bobs of it on there. And but no, if I'm really honest with you, I mean, I listen to Keith with, what Keith says, and Keith says they are a very physical side. And do sort of kicking people and that sort of stuff. So you've got to try and get over that. And if you can get over a bit them sort of kicking you, then you're in with a chance.
Yeah, that's it. They don't need many points because of the advantage of Thamesmead Town. It is only one extra that goes down. So they just need probably 4 or 5 more points from their sort of 9 games. So they'll be seeing this game because they're playing bottom side Greenwich. They'll see this one as one that will possibly keep them safe. So they'll be up for it. But like I say, 10 games, no win. However, with their chairman, because their chairman's taken over in charge of the team, he's one of them. They did draw last week against Ramsgate, who are a very, very good team at the moment. So that's a good point. But tricky game this one. Greenwich are an interesting side. Obviously bottom of the league, but don't get fooled by that. New managers come in, Steve Salis and Steve O'Boyle. Between the two of them, so many connections. Steve O'Boyle, connections with teams at this level, especially Phoenix, and he's brought in a lot of kids and players from that side, and Salis from higher up in the league and connections with Mill. And they brought an interesting mix of young, but also with Jamie Stewart coming in from Grays. He played the last game in defence for him, even though he's about 42. But they've got that mix of experience as well. They just got to quickly gel them to save this season, try and stay up, and then I'm sure they'll be a decent team again next season, just like they were last year.
Were you surprised with Jamie Stewart leaving Grays and then ending up at Greenwich, Dean?
Well, very much surprised. I don't know too much about the leaving of Grays, and obviously that they got the top man in there. But to see a few days later he was turning out for Greenwich was crazy. He hasn't actually played, although he was registered for Grays as a player manager. I don't think he played for him this season, and yet he's just gone straight into the Greenwich team, went straight into centre back. Played at the weekend. They ended up having 10 men, so they had a bit of a battle, and he's done well. They had a good win at home against East Grinstead. But I am surprised. But, like I say, they've got a lot of young people at that squad. So having someone like that in there is always going to help.
Mr. Barker, were you surprised as well? I mean, see Jamie leave Grays?
Well, I was surprised to see him leave at sort of this stage. Obviously, I know Jim had been looking for a few jobs, hadn't he, throughout the season and stuff. So no surprise he got there with his record and his experience. But in terms of Jamie playing and stuff, obviously he kept himself fit and won a few games. He obviously probably mates with the managers and stuff. And when you're down the bottom, having a few experienced players definitely helps.
I mean, Greenwich for me though, if you say two experienced managers sort of involved in with the team as well. You don't expect them to be the one that gets relegated, do you really?
The problem got is that they're already a few points behind the pack. They took over, and although they're doing okay, I think they're 3 games unbeaten, which is reasonable form for a team at the bottom of the league. They were playing catch up from the start. They seem to be better at home, which is a bit of an awful pitch, I'll be honest with you. I've seen it a lot. Better at home than away. They're struggling away, and obviously this game is away. But this is such a key one. If they can win it, especially with 2 sides above them playing each other, the points they both can't get 3 points above them. And obviously, if they win this, they stop the team 4 places above them from winning as well. It's a key one. If Greenwich are going to survive, this is the one that they need to pick up 3 points in.
Do you agree, Dean?
Yeah, well, I'd be looking at both teams. A win for Greenwich obviously would probably get them out of it. And Three Bridges, the win would be massive. So yeah, it'd be an exciting game, and 2 teams that had 2 decent results last week.
What do we reckon him, score-wise?
I'm going to go for the same as what Dean Barker says.
Well, for me, I'm going for a 2-2 draw.
I won't go for a draw. This is one of the silly ones where I'm going to sort of let my heart warm my head, and I do like Greenwich. It's local to me. I've been there a lot, and I'm going to edge with them 2-1.
2-1 to Greenwich. I've gone 4-1 Greenwich, so I've really gone.
4-1.
Yeah.
It won't be 4-1.
But I just got a suspicion it could be a big game. But there we go. Winstable against Guernsey.
So these 2 are the next 2 teams above Greenwich. Winstable, I mean, not spoken about it yet, but Winstable had a game midweek, didn't they, against VCD. That was abandoned very early on in the game, and they was actually leading. Winstable are on a bad run. The last one was 10 games ago, so to take an early lead against VCD, they would have been happy with that. But then unfortunately an back injury to Dominic Obasanya received a knee into the back, and ended up being quite bad, and had to wait a long time for an ambulance, and the right thing happened, and the game got called off. Whether they would have got a win or a point out of that one, we don't know, because VCD are a really good team. So Whitstable not had too much luck. I know a lot about Whitstable. They come up last season. They come up from the league that I work with, the Southern Counties East Football League, and they won 2 cups and come second to get promoted behind Sevenoaks. They're a very direct team. They like to have sort of a big man, little man kind of combination up front. Hit the big man who will flick it on. In the big man at the moment, we've got Stephen Smith, who I like, who I think is a great player, and is a little bit wasted as someone to just hit to his head. I think he's got more about him than that. But that's what Scott Porter and his team do. And like I say, it was very effective last year, absolutely failed this year. And the problem is, your players and your style is set up to reach the front quickly, and at this step 4 level, the players against them are too good, and they can stop it. At step 5, it works superbly. They haven't been able to adapt. They brought in a player from Ramsgate called Harry Stannard this week. He made his debut in the VCD game, didn't get completed. He's a forward that will link with Stephen Smith up front. He might be able to try and give them something different as they go and try and get some desperate points that they need. I think they probably they're the team that are in danger if Greenwich can get out of it. I think Whitstable could be making an appearance back in set 5 soon if Greenwich can make the recovery.
I think one of the other the weird facts of this year as well is that VCD, of course, they've been to Winstable now 3 times this season, and every single one of them has been called off for one reason or another. So it's just it's an interesting.
It's an interesting one. Are you back on Monday with Keith?
Yeah, we've got Paul Martin. So we've got Magic. He's going to be with us on Monday. But yeah, it's an interesting one. We'll find out how the player is on Monday.
Yeah, find out more. I heard that he was okay, but obviously we might as well let Keith talk about that one on Monday more.
I mean, as a manager, Dean, is that the right thing to do when a player gets injured like that to call the game off?
Yeah, of course. Player safety number 1. So I mean, I don't know how long they were waiting for the ambulance or whatever, but if it was a certain amount of time, and obviously the players in trouble, you've got to abandon the game.
Yeah, I heard it was like they called the ambulance. It was going to be hours and hours, so they just couldn't do it.
Yeah. So what are we going to go for with this one then? I mean, Guernsey. I mean, so should talk a little bit about that before we get our results. Guernsey. Are you concerned for them? Because I mean, it seems to be like, I think it was a couple of seasons where they were flying at the top around that sort of playoff zones, and you know, you're thinking, well, you know, some of the Prem teams are going to have to start going to Guernsey, and then all of a sudden, the last few years, they've lost because they lost the Ross Allen. He went off to New Zealand, but I mean, it's. Are you worried about their fate either this year or maybe even next year?
Yeah, it's always interesting to have Guernsey in the league. So I kind of hope they stay. People generally like doing the trip over there, and certainly when we get new teams, either from above or below, come up or down, they like to do the trip, and hear positives of it. They seem like an excellent bunch over there. What's weird this season for them is that they're doing well away from home, and they've got to overcome so many hurdles, especially if they're playing midweek, to come away from the island and put a squad out. So, they deserve a lot of credit for it. But they're doing well away. The only away loss they had in 8 was to Ukraine, and everyone loses to them. So they're doing well away, and they're actually struggling at home. I think people are enjoying the trip and going over there and beating them on their own patch in front of the biggest crowd in the league. I think they've just about got enough. You said about their super striker. They lost him. They seem to have a new one coming up for it called Matt Loring. He's one of the top scorers in the division and doing well. I feel they've just about got enough to stay up. And I'll probably fancy him for this game.
Dean, I mean, have you been to Guernsey yourself?
Me?
Yeah.
No. It's one I always talk about, isn't it? So, I'd like them to stay up, and if they don't ever go in our league, I'd like to go over and play them in the pre-season.
Try and get it sorted. So where are we seeing this one then, Whitstable Guernsey? I'm going to start off then. I'm writing 2-1 Guernsey.
Whitstable don't score. I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to go 1-0 Guernsey.
Mr. Barker?
3-1 Guernsey.
We've got them all covered. If Guernsey win, we're in.
Guernsey win, get me out of there.
Yes. Tooting against Westfield. I mean, where do you see this one? I mean, two teams that are in and just around the playoff zone. So I mean, it's going to be another really sort of interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. My 2 predictions when I first come on the show was that Dorking would win the Prem and Tooting would get in the playoffs. So I've got one right. So hopefully I can be right with Tooting because it's a good club and got a good manager. So I would say Tooting need to win it tomorrow.
I mean,
it's looking that way, isn't it? They're 6 points behind them, but they've got a game in hand. So obviously, they win this one, they're 3 behind that game in hand. It's one of them. It's their last chance. Should they lose it, playoffs are probably sorted in that division as well. They just got to go for it, kitchen sink time, and they may well get there.
Oh, it's going to be interesting because Tooting. I mean, I saw them play. You saw them play against Averley, as I've said a few times. Earlier in the season, and they looked. They didn't look a good outfit at all, considering they'd just come down from the division above. They looked, they did look really bad, really poor. I've not seen Westfield, but since that day, sort of Tooting have sort of taken off, and as you said, they're sitting on 47 points, 6 in the table, 6 off of Cheshunt, 6 off of Westfield. And they've got a game in hand on them as well, so they could end up sneaking in there because no disrespect to Cheshunt. Which was an amazing game at the weekend, absolutely incredible game. I was there watching that one, and against Hanwell, not necessarily in the best of form until Saturday. Westfield are in and out of games as well, but so Tooting could realistically get in there. I mean, the Cheshunt game at the weekend, I mean, they were 2-0 down. In the end, it could have been. He was thinking it could be 5 or 6 at one stage. One of the Cheshunt guys has a header just inside the box. It hits the floor. The goalkeeper's going to pick it up. It spins like a a shot at golf on the putting green and shoots in the other corner, and then all of a sudden the game just completely changed on that just one mistake by the goalkeeper, and Cheshunt went on and won 4-2 and possibly could have ended up winning it, 6 or 7. It was just a really sort of weird game to watch and see the difference in how it changed very quickly after a goal-kicking mistake. So is that going to push them on, and is that going to make it more difficult for Tooting? And as you say, if they can beat Westfield tomorrow, all of a sudden they're 3 points behind with a game in hand. So I know Dean wants them to get there, but do you see them getting in there? Dean B, do we see him get him in?
I think Tooting will get in there. I think, like I said, they're a big club in the division. Credit to Westfield though, they've come up step 4 for the first time, I believe, and they've done really well. So when I was at Northwood, we played them both, and they were 2 good sides. But got a soft spot for Tooting. Their manager's a nice bloke and knows what he's doing. So hopefully Tooting sneak in now on the last playoff spot.
Yeah, it would be a surprise if. Certainly from the start of the season, I always thought Tooting would be in the mix. So it's a surprise to see them not already confirmed in the playoffs. They'll be up for this game. This is big for them. If you compare the size of their club to Westfield, they should certainly be at least the opposite way around. Westfield may go out settling for a draw, being the away side and having a 6-point advantage. That may suit them. But Tooting have got to win it. They've got to win this game.
Oh, I know just looking over the top of my screen every now and again, and the cricket's on in the background, and England are batting first. It might be all over by the time we finish because they're 29-3 already.
They last 20 overs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it won't even last that in a minute. So, I mean, are we all going to be going for Tooting then? What scores are you going for on this one?
I'll go 2-1 Tooting.
I want to go 2-2.
I'm going to. Westfield are good. They're a good team. They've only recent loss was to Hayes. They're going to settle for a point. They're going to get it. They're going to put men behind the ball. They're going to get a 0-0 draw.
0-0. We've got another Glenn. 0-0.
Well, the way Tooting play, I'd be very surprised if it's 0-0, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It will start that way.
Yeah, definitely.
At least for the first second. Hayes and Yedding then, the star game today. Hayes and Yedding versus Marlow. I mean, where do you see? Do we give Marlow a chance at all?
Yeah, of course.
No.
Yeah, of course. Marlow don't concede many goals. I think they've added to their squad this week as well. Listen, obviously Hayes and Yedding are a standout team in the division in terms of where they are, and they're enough won the league already. But listen, Marlow will do well, and obviously if Tooting win tomorrow and Marlow were to lose, they're only sort of 5 points ahead. So Marlow ain't guaranteed a playoff spot yet either. So they'll be trying to win the game tomorrow.
And we're looking at that. They've got play 29, 83 plus 83 goal difference. 73 points, Hayes and Yedding, over 100 goals as well. So I mean, it's certainly going to be interesting when you've got a team that scores loads of goals and you're going up against a team that doesn't concede many. So it'll probably be a 6-0 to Marlow then, won't it?
I don't see it being anywhere near that now. I mean, they've won every home game. How can you not fancy it? The only time I see it them stepping off the gas a little bit is when it's sort of mathematically confirmed that they're the champions, but there's a couple more wins to get yet. I just can't come away from the fact they've won all 14 home games. Whoever they play,
but before you give your scores, I've just had a look back at their games. When they played each other on the 17th of November, they lost 2-1 Hayes and Yedding. The only game they've lost was to Marlow.
Yeah, and we was doing the show when we predicted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. I mean, can they do the double?
It'll be interesting to see your predictions in a minute when you say Marlow then.
But I mean, Hayes and Yedding, are you surprised at how well they've done this season? And I know people expect them to do well in the league, but realistically, they've just ripped it up, haven't they?
They made it a non-event, haven't they? we all thought they were going to do okay, or very, very well rather, but you couldn't have predicted this. This is the most dominant leaders by looking at the table. They're the most dominant across the Boss Six, so well done to them. They've been unbelievable. They'll be a good addition to the Prem.
But will they go in? Will they go into our Prem? Or will they go into your Prem, Dean? Where will they go? Because I mean, they weren't in our league before this season, were they?
I saw something come out this week, and it said we were moving to the Bostic. So yeah, you can guess what you want. Like for tomorrow, for example, we're playing a league game in Birmingham. So yeah, like who knows? Who knows?
So what if say for instance they brought you over? Where would you expect them to put? Would they put you in the in the Jigsaw League? Will they put you in the South the other South League or the North League? Where would you expect to be put?
Good question. Yeah, good question. The only answer is I don't know because we're in a league full of Birmingham teams, so I think there's 4 or 5 Birmingham teams in our league and a lot of Oxfordshire teams. So yeah, who knows? I mean, to be honest, it's been nice to be in this league, playing new teams, new grounds. There's some huge clubs in our league. We've got Corby Town and Bromsgrove Sporting who get close to 1,500 people every home game. There's Bedford Town. There's clubs that have been in the conference sort of 2-3 years ago. So it's been good. And from what I've seen, I would say the league I'm in now is a lot stronger than the one I was in with Norfolk. But obviously, I know that's opinions and stuff.
Well, it's 32-4 now. Another one gone. But I mean, Hayes and Yedding, no. I mean, Marlow. I mean, even Marlow have done such a good job this year, haven't they? I mean, the defence must be outstanding. I mean, I've not had a chance to physically see them yet, but to concede the amount of goals that the amount of goals they've conceded is a great result when you look at the teams that are in that league, because there is some big teams in that South Central League, isn't there?
Yeah, there is some big teams in the South Central. Some big clubs, and Marlow have done fantastic this season. But like you say, they've built their side around being defensively strong. It's fair play to them. And with 8 games to go, there's still sort of 6 or 7 teams that may feel they can get in the playoffs. So again, it's going to be an exciting end to the season.
So where are we going with this one then?
You two are going Marlow, aren't you?
I'm going 1-0.
I'll go for Hayes and Yedding, and I'll go 3-0.
Wow. I'm going to go a 2-1 Hayes and Yedding win. I just had a feeling they might get a little bit of revenge. I mean, while we're talking, let's have a quick look at the games that are going ahead tomorrow in the Bostic Prem. Burgess Town against Leatherhead, Corinthian Casuals versus Bishop Stortford, Folkestone Victor versus Lewis, Margate versus Bognor Regis, Potters Bar versus Carshalton, Tonbridge versus AFC Hornchurch. And I think that game could be quite close because Hornchurch have had a good win during the week as well, and I think that could be a lot closer possibly than what people might think. Whitehawk against Enfield Town. I think that one might be close as well. I mean, Whitehawk are on a good bit of form at the present minute in time. I know where their position don't look too great, but they've been winning more than they've been losing of late.
Yeah, Whitehawk were they looked odds on to go down a month or so ago, didn't they? They've been on a great run, and obviously they still need a few wins to get out of it. But Enfield Town, they've sort of big expectations, made some big signings, and they need to get in the playoffs as well.
Your old side, Wingate and Finchley against Dorking. Give them any hope?
Yeah. No, I think looking at Wingate's next 3 or 4 games, I think sort of as long as they don't get hammered tomorrow, I think they've got to play Harlow, they've got to play Pottsbar Town, so that will be whether they stay up or not if they can win those games. I think tomorrow's sort of a bit of a free hit tomorrow.
Of course, the other game is Harlow against Kingstonian as well. Are you starting to worry for Harlow now? I mean, they brought in 3 new players today, one of them being a goalkeeper. But I mean, and one of the players actually brought in today was from Kingstonian, and will go straight into the squad to play Kingstonian tomorrow. But are you concerned for Harlow? I mean, I must admit, I'm extremely concerned. I look at the table; You know, they're 4 points adrift now. Again, all of a sudden, they've gone through another really bad sticky patch. 4 points adrift. They've got Wingate and Finchley coming up. And I did see Jake say midweek, I think it was Wingate that were playing Hornchurch, and I think he said that if Wingate would have won that game, the likelihood is that Harlow were relegated, and that was, you know, from probably one of the most passionate Harlow fans. So, I mean, do you see any other scenario other than a Harlow relegation now?
Well, I mean, you're saying that, did you say Harlow and Wingate in a couple of weeks?
I think it's next weekend, I think, yeah.
Well, hopefully we look at that one maybe a bit deeper as when that approaches, because that's the key game, isn't it? I don't fancy Harlow getting any points before then, so that's the big one. I do worry about them. I think they'll go, I'm afraid.
I'm just trying to pull up Harlow's fixtures for the rest of the season. They've got Kingstonian at home tomorrow, Wingate at home the week after, then Mersham away, Tonbridge away, Potters Bar at home, Bognor away, Enfield at home, Hornchurch away, and in the last day of the season they finish with a home tie against Margate.
So some very, very tricky ones in there. Maybe you'll pick that as a star game next week, and we'll look at that a bit deeper, because that's going to be everything for them, that game with Wingate next week.
See him getting out of it with those fixtures, Dean?
No, not Harlow. No, I think Burgess Hill, Harlow go down, and obviously I'd love Wingate to stay up. And I think Wingate's obviously, they've got to beat Harlow and they've got to beat Potters Bar.
I'm looking at the fixtures then for tomorrow in the North Division. It's Sudbury against Canvey Island, Bowes and Pitsea versus Brentwood Town, Dereham Town versus Grays, Felixstowe Walton versus Basildon, Haybridge Swifts versus Great Wakering, Romford versus Mildenhall, and that could be a game that if Romford don't get the 3 points there, could that relegation be almost not confirmed, but you never say that with Romford, but I think if they don't get the 3 points tomorrow, it's going to make it, should we say, extremely difficult?
Yeah, I think Romford and Mildenhall look like they're going, don't they? Mildenhall, they've tried with a few managers and tried to make some big signings, but they keep losing, don't they?
I mean, Romford at the moment, 10 points adrift, 10 games to play. Would it be a bigger, great escape than last year?
It's not happening, is it? It's just too late. They've got, 18 points in 29. They're not going to get another 15 points or whatever that's needed. It's not going to happen. It's too late. It's a shame. They done it last time. They can't do it today. This year's done.
Are you sure? Because I'm not. I'll be honest. I until they're physically relegated, I'm not sure they're going to get relegated. I know it sounds a silly thing to say. I just think they're just one of these sides that they get a win, they get a second win, and all of a sudden it's like they're on a momentum. I mean, I'm looking at their games. They've got Mildenhall, possible win.
Yeah.
Basildon, possible win. Then they go through two difficult ones. Malden, Tiptree at home, Haybridge away. Then they've got Witham, Sudbury, Soham, Grays, Felixstowe. All winnable games for me, for them. So, I mean, are they dead? Or am I taking past a bit of straw?
There's some good games there, actually. They might pick up 3 or 4 points, but that'll be it.
See? Are you convinced?
No, well, I think they'll go down, but obviously after last year, and so listen, until it's mathematically possible, you're going to keep fighting, aren't you? But it's not looking good for Romford or Mildenhall, to be honest.
I mean, of course, we can't finish the programme without talking about one other side as well, and of course that is Moseley. I mean, did you see this run coming from them? And tomorrow they get their Cheshunt tomorrow. They place FC Romania tomorrow. Another situation where they could easily get 3 points tomorrow. And all of a sudden, as we said at the beginning or halfway through the show, it's where they looked as if they were completely doomed. You know, they're 2 games in hand on South Park and they're a point behind.
Yeah, they're going to make it. The support of the show has inspired them to get out off the bottom. And with these games in hand, I think South Park are huge. I'm surprised they're in trouble as well. But I think they'll leap over South Park and possibly send them down.
I mean, you look at that, and it's not even necessarily even South Park. I mean, if you take Egham out of the situation, they're only on 10 points, but then you start looking above that. Molesley 21, South Park 22, Hertford Town 24, FC Romania 27. So it's not just it's only 6 points between Molesley and FC Romania. That could be 3 tomorrow. So I don't know. Me personally, I mean, I know it's not one of our games. I see them winning 2-0 tomorrow, Molesley, and that's my personal opinion. I think they'll win that tomorrow. Then they'll bring FC Romania right into it as well.
Yeah, they will. I'll have them down as 8-0 tomorrow, and definitely getting out of trouble.
Dean, what do you think?
Yeah, it's tight down there, isn't it? Molesley, South Park, Hertford, Romania. None of them are safe yet, are they? So, again, last sort of 8-9 games, it's going to be an exciting end to the season. Probably more exciting down the bottom than it is at the top, with Hayes and Yeading basically won the league already.
Well, this is Molesley's games, just before we finish, what they've got left. FC Romania away, Marlow at home, Chalfont St Peter away. Chalfont St Peter at home, another 3-point opportunity. Hanwell Town away, Waltham Abbey at home, Tooting and Mitcham away, Westfield away, Hayes and Yeading at home, Chipstead away, Northwood at home. By the time they take on Hayes and Yeading on the 20th of April, the league's over anyway. So what do Hayes and Yeading do? You know what I mean? Again, there's an opportunity there for possibly to get a point or whatever else. And that sounds a silly thing to say with the difference, but their eyes may be all off it. They're already on the beach, whatever, as they say, because they've already won the league. It could be the ideal opportunity to be playing them.
Yeah, and Hayes and Yeading have any cup finals, I'm not sure. Sort of towards the end of the season, if Hayes and Yeading have won it, they might rest 1 or 2 for the cup final if they've got any. That happens sort of this time of year as well, doesn't it? Where some teams get in the playoffs sort of with 2-3 games to go, and they sort of rest a few of their star players for the playoffs, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, that hour's absolutely flown by again tonight. A massive thank you for everybody that's actually watched us. Don't forget as well, if you can, there is, of course, we tweeted it out earlier on today. There is some awards going on for podcast awards and video shows like that we do here on the show. And it would be absolutely fantastic if you guys could, give us a chance and go on there and have a look at it and vote for us. It's the address you're looking for is Football Blogging Awards, which is all one word, .co.uk. So it's Football Blogging Awards.co.uk. It'd be fantastic to get ourselves, even a nomination will be absolutely we'd be all over the moon to get something like that. Me and Keith will be back on Monday. We'll be back again for the first time in a couple of weeks, and we have Mr. Magic with us, as we said earlier on. Hopefully Paul Martin from Romford. I did a very, very interesting chat with ex-Yeovil, AFC Wimbledon, Grays, Thurrock, and the list goes on and on and on. Player, of course, Glenn Paul, this afternoon in a really eye-opening, warts and all conversation when he was sitting in his car talking to me, believe it or not, this afternoon. And that will be released as My Life in Football on Wednesday. And I do recommend that as a good watch, because he does go to town on one very famous manager that was his manager, and it was very, 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 very interesting to see Glenn almost lose his cool, as you were saying in the conversation, and he is Mr. Cool, Mr. Paul, but he was. He talks about his bereavement as well while he was at Grays and losing his grandparents as well. So if you get a chance to listen to that one, it's only about half an hour, 35 minutes, but have a good listen to that on Wednesday when that gets released as well. But a massive thank you tonight to Dean Barker. Great to have you back, mate, and all the very, very best of your early trip to Birmingham in the morning. And of course also as well to Dean for joining us again. Thanks very much again, Dean, as well. Don't forget, spread the word. We're here every Friday, normally 7, of course, till 8. But until next week, good night.